exercise to complete the collation in the Domeko-Abenya constituency on the 21st of December. Unfortunately, although we came a long way, we were not able to complete it because there were 3 polling station pink sheets outstanding. In our second attempt to complete the process, we again brought together the parties, basically the NDC and the MPP, and with their agents to assist us to bring the collation to a completion to enable us to declare the outcome of the election. That collation was held on the 28th, just this past Saturday, the 28th of December. At that meeting, the NDC was able to provide 2 pink sheets, which was confirmed by our staff at the constituency. Unfortunately, there was a missing pink sheet, 1 pink sheet for the Abukobi Women's Training Center. And both the NDC and the NPP did not have these sheets. It's important to note that the NPP did not have any pink sheets, any of the 3 pink sheets at all. But after scrutinizing the pink sheets presented by the NPP, they were found to be legitimate, and they tallied with what we had also found. The missing link was this polling station sheet, which none of the parties had, and it was for the Abukobi Women's Training Center. It's important to note that in the attempts to recollate, our officer had brought a pink sheet for the Abukobi Women's Training Center, but it bore on the face of it training. It had written on the face of it the word training, and it was a presidential pink sheet. And so, in the view of the commission, a training pink sheet had no business at the polling station on election day, and upon scrutinizing it, the commission was of the view that it could not be accepted. It's important to note that the parties also did not have any evidence. Both NDC and MPP did not have the pink sheets to confirm whether what was written on the training sheet was legitimate and was accurate. And so in the view of the commission and in the interest of fairness, the commission felt that it was proper to rerun the election for that particular polling station to ensure fairness. We have always maintained as a commission that it is not our interest, is not to make anybody a president. And this is something we have said across board to all our officers. Our interest is to conduct credible and transparent elections that are fair, that ensure that the will of the people as expressed at the polls is upheld. And so once none of the parties had any pink sheet to confirm, and they both said they didn't have it, we agreed at that meeting that we should have a rerun. It's important to note that at that meeting, the NDC agreed with the idea to have a rerun. The MPP was of the view that they did not have, because their agents had left the center, they had not taken part in the collation, and therefore they wanted the commission to start the collation afresh. We explained to them that the commission had received all the pink sheets, and I think that was 369, I believe, 369 polling stations, and we had cross-checked that against what had been done by the returning officer, and it was accurate. It was just that one missing, and that is why we took the decision to have a rerun. And this, as I said, was agreed to by the NDC. Since then, we have not rested on our oars, and we've tried to unearth and unravel how we came by. In all of this, as you may be aware, we had reached out to the returning officer and our district officer, but we did not have any explanation for the use of the training sheet. What they had said was the presiding officer realized at the point of filling the form that what she had was a presidential pink sheet, and therefore she used a presidential training sheet. It didn't add up. It was not convincing. And so 2 days ago as a commission, in our investigation, we had the light bulb moment that why don't we really do away with all the party agents at the collation center, because they have not been able to provide us the information we need. Why don't we go to their ground? Rather than deal with collation agents at the collation center, why don't we identify, look out for the agents, the polling agents at the Abukobi Training Center? And so we took steps. We reached out to the parties, and we were able to do that. The PO was out of town. We were able to also reach her and ask her to come, return back to Accra to answer a few questions. This morning we met with her, and she explained to us how she arrived at the training. She arrived at using the pink sheet for presidential training with training embossed on it. It's important to note that she did not have this training sheet with her on election day. And it's also important to note that contrary to what is being peddled in the news, though that training sheet was not signed by party agents. The question has been asked that, oh, it's the EC sheet, why are they not using it? Training sheets have no place at the polling station, and that's why we are not using it. It was not a parliamentary pink sheet, polling, even training, it was presidential, and it was not signed by any of the party agents. What she has explained is that, as I mentioned, she recognized that she did not have the parliamentary pink sheet, she had the presidential. And so she tallied everything on paper. She had both agents of the NPP and the NDC confirm the figure, and they decided, they agreed to go to the collation center to obtain a copy of the parliamentary pink sheet. Once there, they were informed to go to the district office. On their way there, unfortunately, they were accosted by some thugs who threatened their lives, and in the process, she fled. The good news is that she had this sheet in her bag, but she fled. And she says that the agents also dispersed and they all left. And so none of them had the results. She had it on a sheet. I'm happy to note, however, that the parties, although we did not have a pink sheet for parliamentary signed and completed at that level, each party also had their own tally cards. And on that tally sheets, they have the number of persons who came through. They had all the details, including the results, the total for each political party. And we have received that of the NPP. Although they are not present here, the presiding officer, some days after the election, reached out to the agents, the party agents, and the agent for the NPP sent his copy. And we've seen that we have the evidence and their communication. And it tallies that of what our presiding officer had on the training sheet. We have also met with the NDC, agent, and we've also taken a record of his tally sheet, which also contains the number of people who came to the center and the votes for each of the parties, and they tally. And that has enabled us to arrive at a completion today. So today, the Commission is pleased to note that it has brought proceedings and collation at the Domi Kwabenya constituency to a close. It has gone full circle. And we are convinced, without a shadow of doubt, that the outcome reflects the will of the people as expressed at the polls. I think that yes. So as mentioned, ours is not to make anybody president. It is to ensure that our outcomes and our processes guarantee that the people's choice is upheld. So we're happy to note that we have come full circle today, and the outcome of that election has been confirmed as being legitimate, as being the choice of the people. I think at this point it is not in my place to make that declaration, and I'll hand over to our MC to take over and to let proceedings continue. Thank you. So we'd like to thank you. We know it's been a long road. I think that the lesson in it is that our processes must be allowed to work. I know that the candidate has been through quite a bit, but the processes must be allowed to work. And I like to also place on record that we don't rest on our oars here, and we're burning the midnight oil to ensure that, the right thing is done. And we're pleased that, we had that flash, that light bulb movement to go down, to drill down to the ground. And that has brought out the truth, and the truth will be upheld. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Is that okay?
Thank you, Madam. At this point, we would like to call the returning officer.
Did I leave anything out?
Mr. James Sophie. And we also like to invite close to the returning officer. So first, I'll hand over the mic to Mr. James Sophie. Zakaria Kofi to do the declaration, and then the symbolic aspects will be done by.
Let's see your face.
You can get up to stand. Stand up. Yeah, stand up.
Then you should move. You want him to?
You want him to use it. Okay.
Okay. So good afternoon, our friends in the media. Good afternoon, directors. Good afternoon, chairperson. Good afternoon, party representatives. My name is James Zakaria Kofi, the returning officer for Dominican Kwapenya constituency. Just like the chairperson has said, we have arrived at the final result of Dominican Kwapenya parliamentary election. On the face of the pin sheets, we have Michael Aaron Yao Okwe Jr. polled 50,669 votes, 50669. Akurugu Faustina Elegblem polled 50,967 votes, 50967. Dora Nyako polled 220 votes, that is 220. And Remy Parko Edmondson polled 302, that is 302. The total valid votes 102,158, 102,158. The total rejected ballots 624, that is 624. The total vote cast, that is 102,782, that is 102,782. Now, with the power invested in me as the returning officer for Dominican Kwapenya constituency, and in the presence of the returning officer for the presidential election, I declare Madam Akurugu Faustina Elegblem as the MP elect for Dominican Kwapenya. Thank you.
I think you hold the hand. That's what you do. Do your work.
Madam Akurubu for signing and declare, yes, by the power invested in me as a return officer, I declare Madam Akurubu for Sina Eliplay as the MP elect for Dominic Kwabenya constituency. Thank you.
And Faustina Eliplay has finally been adjudged as the parliamentary member of parliament elect for the Dominic Kwabenya constituency, and the returning officer just...
As we cross over, thank you. Shall we have a closing prayer?
The returning officer just spoke to us, so saying Eliplay won with some 5,967 votes, and the NPP Magokwe won with some 5,699 votes, making the NDC parliamentary candidate now MP elect for the Dominic Kwabenya. It's been a very long race from December 7 till now, and finally Eliplay can now smile to the cameras, and let me get close to her now and engage her and see how the feeling is like now, as finally it appears it has all come to an end now. Madam Eliplay, so and now I can see some smile on your face.
Thank you very much. I think today we didn't have any declaration because there was no recollation or anything. Today is an affirmation because you all know that on the 8th of December, almost all of you were present in Dominic Kwabenya where I was declared. So today is not a declaration, it is an affirmation. And so I just want to thank God for how far He has brought us. Today, we all know that the elephant is a big animal, and when you kill it, before it finally dies, it has to take time and it has to struggle. And so today, finally, the elephant is dead, and Dominic Kwabenya has come to stay.
What did the magic?
It's hard work. It's hard work and dedication, and of course, prayers that led us to this victory. So on this note, I want to thank everybody who came on board. I mean, during the this long hours. In fact, the Xmas, it didn't go well for me because of the up and down. Today you are being called, tomorrow you are here and you are there. So I just want to thank all those who came on board to support us. And the victory, the voice of the people has finally spoken. And so to God be the glory. Great things He has done and greater things He will do.
What should constituents expect?
Oh, of course. They should expect. Now, the MP elect. The next thing is to start work. You know, Dominic Kwabenya has always been for the NPP, and this is the first time the NDC has taken that seat. And so it's hard work that will make the people maintain me for long. And so it's all going to be hard work. And the hard work starts today. And so I want to thank the constituents for having that trust in me and then giving me this mandate. And I can promise them that we are going to make sure Dominic Kwabenya becomes a place that everybody will love to be.
Thank you.
So that is the Member of Parliament elect for the Dominic Kwabenya Kwabenya constituency. Let me talk to Tanko now, who has been following these proceedings from day one till now. Let me try and talk to him now in front of him.
As a party, let me take this opportunity to thank the Electoral Commission. I mean, Madam Jean Mensah. When they do well, we'll congratulate them. But when they do mistake, we'll fire. Yes, I mean, we'll thank them for the path they've taken. Because clearly, like we stated earlier, there was no need to embark on that path. Because clearly the people spoke loudly. They voted for Madam Akurugu, and we wanted their vote to stand. And then so we push, and finally they reasoned with us. So we have to thank them, the Electoral Commission, for having reasoned well with us and for having abandoned the process that they were trying to engage in. We know the situation it was created for the country. It was going to mar the beauty of whatever they were doing all over. And so we thank them, the Electoral Commission, for having done this yeoman's job. And I always state, when they do the right thing, we will thank them. If they go outside the right thing, we will fire. We'll make sure that we'll bring them onto the right path, and then the Ghanaians will benefit.
What is the right thing? Is it because if it does not go your way, it's wrong, and if it goes your way, it's right, or there's something that they did wrong that you bashed in them, or something?
Clearly, the people voted for Madam, and they themselves confirm it. It wasn't the mistake of the electorate. The mistake was not from the electorate. The mistake was not from the candidate. The mistake was not from the agent. It was from the presiding officer. And she agreed. What happened? And so therefore, they need not punish our candidate or the electorate. And so that has been our position. And clearly, they reasoned to us. And then they made it. So if clearly they had gone to the other side, of course, that would have been natural justice would have demanded that we'll follow that path. And also we are grateful for that.
4 more of the seats to be declared. You have that of North, you have that of Tema Central, you also have that of Okankwe Central. Are you confident that after everything, maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow's sitting, the seat is going to fall for you?
Yes, all the forces are going for NDC. We won the seat fairly, clearly. What we are fighting over there at the High Court is all tomorrow that they are going to give a ruling on our objection that we raised, the preliminary objection, and it's very clear. What they did is that they are trying to use a back door to get whatever they are looking for. In fact, they are looking to come through a back door to have a petition filed. That is the form they are trying to do. And that is why our lawyers raised that objection. You cannot use that method, mandamus, to get that kind of method, because those declarations were made. What is all here is not a real declaration. They're just confirming what they have declared already. Nothing has changed. Okay, DS is different. They want to now come, do another collation, and do another declaration. That is illegal. It's not known to the law. And that is why we've been saying it. It's completely illegal. And I told you, that Burunya thing they went and did, you see that it has stayed in their face. It won't happen. What we know is that those 4 seats, we want them fairly. And I'm very sure tomorrow they will throw them out. That mandamus will not stand. What is mandamus? You want to force a state institution to carry out its mandate, its duty, that it has not carried out. They've carried out the duty. Those returning officers, they are in charge, and they carry out. You, the media, you capture it. You saw the declaration in Okankwe Central, Tema Central, and Ablikwano. You walk through it. It was captured live on your television station. So why can somebody go to court and say, EC has not done collation, they have not done declaration, so you are forcing them to come and do collation and do declaration? What is that? So we are clear in our mind. Tomorrow, our objection will be upheld by the trial judge, and this mandamus will be dead on arrival, and the 4 MPs will be sworn into office. You see, we have just captured Domi Kwabenya. Right. Thank God to glory. These people, they wanted to use a back door to get it. We've thrown them out. It's level 4. We'll capture that one too. No.
Right. So that is Tanko speaking to us there about the declaration that was just made here at the EC office. And he's also very confident that by close of today, the other 4 seats will fall for the NDC, because according to him, they have won those other 4 seats, which includes the Ablekuma North, the Okankwe Central, Tema Central, and he's very confident that at the end of the day tomorrow, the NDC will emerge victorious in all those other 4 seats that the High Court is yet to make a ruling on. And we are going to keep our eye on this development and keep up to speed as to how all these unfolds. But for now, the Member of Parliament elect for the Domin Kwabenya is the NDC Faustina Aklogu, and she just walked out here so cheerfully and happily. Hopefully, she'll be able to enjoy the new year, as she claimed she could not enjoy the Christmas because of the up and downs and the meetings here and there. But fortunately for her, tomorrow is a day that she can sit with her family and enjoy the rest of the Christmas and the New Year. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Allegri, over to you in the studios.
Well, breaking news this hour, Faustina Makurgu, the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Domin Kwabenya, has been affirmed the MP-elect of the constituency. She's been affirmed winner of that contest in the 2024 general elections in this country. The Electoral Commission says that her closest opponent, Michael Quay Jr., scored 50,669 votes. Eliklim herself with 50,967 votes. Of course, there were other candidates in the contest, but these were the closest contenders. The total valid vote cast for the constituency, 102,158. Rejected ballots, 624. And total vote cast, 102,782. The Electoral Commission also tells us the process through which, they went to arrive at this decision. She talks about how the NDC did not have its own pink sheets to start with after failed attempts in the recent past to try and recollate the results of that constituency. And then she says that the NDC had agreed that the NPP's pink sheets it provided were same as the Electoral Commission's. However, there was one constituency that no pink sheet was, one polling station, that no pink sheet was provided for, and that is the Abokobi Women's Training Center. That is important because in the last few days, the Electoral Commission had indicated that it wanted to rerun the election in this polling station or at this polling station. Obviously, after that meeting with the NDC today, the NDC had raised objections about that. It would appear that that is not happening anymore. Remember that from that engagement with the media, she explains why they got to that point. She says initially the NDC had agreed, the NPP was not present there. However, now they have decided that a pink sheet, a presidential training pink sheet that bore those figures have been agreed upon that those are the real figures, and the presiding officer for that polling station has provided the actual figures, and that is how they were able to arrive or affirm Elikuli Makurugu's win in the Domin Kwabenya constituency. Now, this leaves the Ablekuma North. Remember, they were not able to recollate for Ablekuma North as well. The returning officer for Ablekuma North had decided that because both parties were not there to agree on matters, he couldn't go ahead to recollate and even declare a winner for that contest, and so it leaves Ablekuma North hanging. But you also know that the original declaration for Ablekuma North went to Rabna Obin of the NDC. We'll see how that plays out. We'll be here with you when the Electoral Commission decides to act on that as well. But also the flip side of this is that you already know that the NDC is in court over Techiman South, over Okankwe Central and Tema Central. Again, these are places where particularly Tema Central and Okankwe Central were originally declared in favor of the NDC. And now their redeclaration went in favor of the NPP. The NDC obviously is not happy about that, and that's why it's in court. It included Domin Kwabenya as well. So now that Domin Kwabenya is off the table, we know that there is an application to be heard tomorrow in court. And what you see on your screen now are some of the issues that have come up around Okankwe Central. And as I was explaining earlier, originally declared for the NDC, the EC set aside this declaration. It said that it did not follow due process. The court then ordered the EC to complete the process. The EC recollated and declared the NPP candidate, who is the incumbent MP, Patrick Yabuama, as the winner of that contest. And now the Supreme Court set aside the court order and recollation. That's why this matter again is back in the courts, or at the High Court, where tomorrow we'll hear an application whether or not the Mandamus the NPP is sneaking in could object to any of the efforts that the NDC is taking up in court. But Domi Kwabenya is out at this point. So now it leaves us with Techiman South, it leaves us with Okankwe Central, it leaves us with Tema Central. But again, when you squint a little, Domi Kwabenya was originally part of this suit. So if this suit goes in favor of the NDC, it will mean that even this recollation and redeclaration that has been made in favor of them, well, everything reverses back to wherever it is. But it's a lot. And so we're going to keep an eye on events that are happening. As far as this is concerned, you stay with us here, your Election Command Center. We'll bring you all the details that you need as far as these outstanding constituencies are concerned. But breaking news this hour, Faustina Eliklim Akrugu has been affirmed, redeclared MP-elect for Dom Kwabenya constituency. There'll be more in later broadcasts. You want to stay with us here on TV3. I'm Kemeni Amano. That'll be all for now.